I've had the privilege of working with Doug Graham and Continuant through their relationship with our WorkSource offices located throughout Pierce County. My team helps your company fill vacant positions with a priority on veterans. So when we received the request to identify a local employer that had a solid commitment to hiring military veterans, you were our first company that came to mind. My team was happy to make the nomination because Continuant has repeatedly demonstrated its dedication to hiring veterans. I'm going to go ahead and introduce John Lee now. And when it comes to veterans, there is no bigger champion than John Lee. He's an example that you don't have to relinquish your military work ethic or values to succeed in the civilian world. Please welcome John Lee.
Well, good morning. Go Army.
Be Navy.
Go Army?
Be Navy.
All right. Well, I just want to point out to this group that all services exist to support the United States Army, just so you know. I want to give a heartfelt thanks to this company. You know, there are people that talk about doing stuff and people that watch what happened, and then there are companies like this that actually make it happen. In terms of our veteran population, I can tell you proudly, as a Vietnam veteran, we are doing exponentially better in this country in terms of serving our veterans and their families. In the state of Washington, our governor, first Mike Gregoire, who I get to spend some time with, there's a lot of support and focus on making sure that we honor the service of the men and women that raise their right hand and swear to uphold the Constitution of this country and defend it. I'm honored to be here this morning and recognize this company. Just to put it in perspective, we believe that there are just over 63,000 relatively young men and women, some of them are older than others, that have served in the current war, are now off of active duty or out of the reserves or National Guards that are citizens of our state, 63,000 plus. Washington is a unique state in that our veteran population is going this way, unlike the rest of the nation, which is going that way. We've all heard that there's only really a small percentage of men and women who are serving our country, less than 1%. So the numbers are not huge, but more than 63,000 is not an insignificant number, and they're spread all over the state. We're thrilled with the partnership that we enjoy with Joint Base Lewis McChord. General Brown, who just showed up to command the 1st Corps, has already lodged his personal commitment to make sure that those members transitioning from the military get the very best in the way of transition services. And no state is any better prepared to serve veterans than the state of Washington. So God bless you all for your commitment, what you're doing, and I look forward to sharing this morning with you.
Thank you, John. And now to present the High River Vet Award is my commissioner, Paul Trause.
Thank you, Carmen, and good morning. As you've just heard, both Carmen and John, we're here because we share the governor's deep commitment to helping veterans succeed in the civilian world. I also want to specifically acknowledge the contributions of your local lawmakers, Representative Assay and Representative Zeiger, who have done so much to work with us in ensuring we have the legal framework necessary to assist veterans. We make veterans issues a priority every day in this community and in Olympia. In the future, we hope more employers will join Continuant in making it a priority to hire veterans. By now you know why we're here today, but you may not know that Continuant is only the second company to receive a Hire a Vets award since the recession. Before the recession, we called the Hire a Vets award the Hire a Vet Challenge. It honored employers who had a good track record of hiring veterans and who accepted our challenge to hire more. You can understand why that was a hard challenge for employers to accept in the middle of the recession. Many were cutting payrolls and struggling to maintain their existing workforce. But now our economy is improving. We've added more than 117,000 jobs in Washington since the end of the recession. But too many veterans remain unemployed, and the military drawdown is going to flood the job market with even more. This is an urgent matter for Governor Gregoire, John Lee, and me. We have several efforts underway to help veterans connect with employers. And along with those activities, we felt that this was the right time to reintroduce the Hire a Vet Award, both to recognize those employers who have done an outstanding job of hiring veterans, but also to make sure that the community at large knew of the challenge and the need. It would be hard to find a company more deserving of this award than Continuant. It takes leadership from the top. Doug Graham, Continuant CEO, was once a champion caliber amateur wrestler at West Point. Then he became a helicopter pilot. He persistently found ways to keep Continuant relevant throughout the hard times. First, when the dot-com bubble burst, and then during the recession. Perhaps it was his background in wrestling that made him such a fighter for his company. But through it all, he was able to turn Continuant into the nation's leading independent telecom services provider. In an article appearing in the Tacoma News Tribune, Doug spoke about hiring military personnel. He said, "Training people to work hard, if they don't have that by the time they get to me, I can't do anything. If you don't have a work ethic, all the degrees in the world won't help you." Doug recognizes the characteristics veterans bring to the workplace, which are difficult to quantify on a resume. Hard work, determination, teamwork, and a commitment to getting a job done. Of Continuant's 230 employees, veterans make up 15%. They are present in all aspects of your company, in your call center, on your sales team, as technology experts, and in senior leadership. Clearly, you value veterans as employees and as colleagues, and stand as an example for the state as a whole. You are setting the example that we all need to follow, and I challenge other businesses to live up to the commitments that you've made. At this time, I'd like to invite Doug to accept the Hire a Vet Award and say a few words. Doug, and let's see if I can get that done.
Thank you, Paul. You had someone did some good research for you, but it wasn't perfect. So I'm not sure where they got that Olympic caliber athlete, whatever that was. But anyhow, I just want to point out that came from Bob Turner. Okay. Well, he was talking about him. But I did wrestle, and I did learn a lot, mainly how to bridge out of bounds when you're on your back. So I'm sure that that's a trait that's helpful in business. Anyhow, we appreciate this honor. I appreciate the fact that all you've made time to come and give us this honor. And actually, before this, I didn't even know that the state was that focused on helping veterans, which that's a great thing. So I appreciate the fact that there is effort and the acknowledgement that from a deserving standpoint, I can't think of any group of people that deserve our government support more than veterans. Now that said, I wish I could say that me hiring veterans is all that altruistic. The bottom line is it's really not that altruistic, it's just a good business decision. So we hire veterans, and veterans do a great job for us. The things that veterans almost always come with is a work ethic, an ability and a commitment to accomplish whatever mission that we happen to hand them. You know, as far as the intangibles go, veterans, they're off the chart. So it seems like, if I understand why other businesses don't focus on the veteran hiring as much, is because most of them don't come with a ready-made training. You know, you can't somehow, if you're a guy out there shooting at people in the Army, that's hard to translate that over to a civilian skill, supposedly. As Paul happened to mention, the fact of the matter is the training of veterans is, I mean, that's the easiest thing that you do. I mean, yes, it does take some effort and cost a little bit of money, but the benefit that comes out of training veterans that already come to you with all the stuff that, in my opinion, can't be trained, like work ethic, you know, commitment to accomplish the mission. You know, those things, you know, are the things that really make people stand out in your company, make us better, allow us to achieve and succeed at the mission that we have here in the civilian sector. So anyhow, hiring veterans, that's one of the best business decisions we've made. You know, today I see a bunch of veterans out there. We've got a front row full of them here that I want to handpick some and acknowledge. You know, Sandy Day. Sandy's been with us for 8 years. Yeah. And extraordinary engineer and leader. Dennis. I mean, he's been with us for 13 years. And the amazing thing about Dennis, he's a Navy guy. So, even Navy guys can be successful in our business. So, Mary's been with us 11 years. You know, extremely faithful, can always count on her to get the job done. Appreciate you, Mary. Jim's one of our op managers in charge of the NOC. You've been with us for, what, 8 years? And then Harold, our employee extraordinaire, he's been with us for 13 years, done everything we need him to do as a foundational part of our company. So anyhow, this is just a sampling of the people that have made this country great. John mentioned that 15% of our employees are actually veterans. What he didn't mention is that over 30% of our management and leadership are veterans. So that's a telling statistic there. And the other group of people that wasn't mentioned that actually John had mentioned when we were talking before the meeting, and that is spouses. I don't know what our percentage is, but I know that we're probably somewhere around the same percentage, 10 to 15%, with military spouses. And somehow by osmosis, they have the same intangible strengths that the spouse has, who's actually the veteran or the military veteran. So anyhow, thank you. Thanks specifically to our veterans. Thanks to the state of Washington for acknowledging and doing the state's part in making sure that veterans are taken care of after they get out of the service. And I appreciate all of our folks that help accomplish our mission and make us money. So, thank you very much.
I'd like just to, again, thank all of you and thank Doug for all that you've done to help us help veterans. And John, if I could have you join us for a picture presenting the award, I would appreciate it. Why don't we move over here? And I'll get it right side up. Okay. Thank you, Doug.